We're going for this.
We're going for this, but it's gonna be a little nuts, okay? Okay. So follow my lead. We're gonna have a good time. What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. This is Father Greg, and we're recording this video for the second time in a row because no sound was recorded the last time we recorded this. We were talking about our best board games of the month, and I want to watch the Weird Al Yankovic movie, and so we're just gonna get this done as quickly as possible. So, best board games for the month of January. Here we go.
All right, I played Yinch and Carcassonne. Yinch is an abstract strategy game, which is delightful. Carcassonne is a tile-playing game, which is even more delightful. Had a great time playing both games.
I played Clank Catacombs. This is an expansion-ish variation to Clank, where instead of the board, you use tiles. It was okay.
Great. I played a game with a family of Jamaica. Jamaica is a game about going about the water. We've talked about it a lot on this channel. I also played a game called Trekking the World. Trekking the World, you're going around the world. You're seeing different things. You're visiting different places. It's lovely.
I played Mechs vs. Minions with my two boys. They loved it. This is a programming game where you put cards into programming slots. Each round you get to draft more cards to put in your programming slots so that you can have more refinement in how you move your mechs around and blow up tons of minions. If you heard great things about this game, they are true. Play this game.
Cool. I played Mr. Jack. Mr. Jack is a delightful game about trying to figure out who Jack the Ripper is. 2-player deduction game. And I also played Reef. Reef is a game that looks like it was made for children, but it's not. It's great.
Then we played Mosaic, A Story of Civilization. This game is weird as hell.
Right, rulebook is all over the place on this one. Can't figure out what's adjacent to nothing, and it takes about 45 minutes to set up.
You think this is adjacent? No, it's not adjacent, but there's really cool symbology where you are building a tableau of cards, and other cards that you want to build require you to have previously built certain symbols, and it all chains together, and it's all quite delightful, despite itself.
I played Palaces of Carrera. Palaces of Carrera is a cool game where you have a rondelle and stuff. It starts off really expensive, but it gets cheaper the more nobody buys it.
The cool thing about Palaces of Carrera is that you choose when you're going to score, and you can either score for money or for points, and that's going to provide a great tension for you throughout the game. Sarah had a friend in town from her school days, and we played Luxor with him. Luxor, we play a lot of Punchboard Party. We like it. It's great. You got a hand of cards. You can either play from the left or the right of your hand of cards, and it's kind of just roll and move, but it's delightful and it works.
I played Hanabi. Hanabi's a game where you don't look at your cards, which is infuriating. But it's a great cooperative game. I also played another cooperative game that's called Atlantis Rising, where you're trying to stop it. Well, Atlantis is going into the sea. There's no stopping it, but you're trying to get off the island before it falls into the sea. And you save civilization as we know it.
I love Atlantis Rising because I feel like this is a cooperative game where you can play kind of your own game. You're kind of autonomous. You're not kind of feeling forced to collaborate with other people. But there's also this push your luck tension where you want to, make sure you get a worker placement spot going. But you can draw a card and that space goes right into the sea. And that's just the worst.
It is.
Next, I played Archaeology. This is a Phil Walker Harding game that kind of disappeared, But this is worth finding a copy of, playing. You basically got a market of different archaeological artifacts, and you have a hand of cards, and there's a value in the corner, and so you are going to play cards from your hand, and then you can take cards from the market equal to the value of the cards that you played. And you're kind of trading with the market and trying to collect sets, and then you can make sets in your museum and get points for that.
I played 2 games with my nieces. Animals on Board. It's kind of I split, you choose sort of mechanism. And we finished up Kids Chronicles, finished up the story. We found all the 4 moonstones, and we saved the day. It was great.
This is amazing. Played with my kids. Played Draftosaurus. Draftosaurus is a game that my kids can do all the things you need to do to play the game, even if they don't really understand the game, and they can still win the game. You grab a bunch of dinosaurs from a bag, pass them around, you place a dinosaur at a time on your zoo until you've placed 12 dinosaurs on your zoo. But it is quick and fun for what it is.
I played Jekyll vs. Hyde. Jekyll vs. Hyde is a trick-taking game where you want to your cards close to your chest, as it were. You don't want to let your opponent know what you're really up to until you finally sort of show your hand and let it all out. Still don't know which is better, Fox in the Forest or Jekyll vs. Hyde, but it's a close match.
Well, what you don't know is in the previous video that we did record for this, Father Greg admitted they liked Jekyll vs. Hyde better than Fox in the Forest.
That's not entirely true. Next. Next, I played Honey Buzz. Honey Buzz is a game where you're creating hives. You're putting your hives around. You're putting nectar in the middle, making honey, and selling that honey for sweet, sweet points.
Not honey for money?
Oh, missed out on that one.
Next, I played Jamaica with my kids, and I was so delighted. We played a 3-player game, Owen, Ethan, and myself of Jamaica. We played by the rules. We played till the end of the game. It was great. They were able to do everything the game required of them. I still had to guide them along in how to play, but a much better upgrade from when we used to open a game box and the pieces would just go into mouths and under couches. So I am happy to play Jamaica with my boys.
That's really exciting. I played a solo game of Subdivision, which I love. It sets up in 5 minutes and plays in 20. It's delightful. It's a beautiful little puzzle. Beautiful game. Works great solo.
I want to vomit in my mouth and swallow it. I prefer that experience than even hearing about Subdivision.
Oh, we gotta play this game.
Next, I had Mary and Dallas over, and Sarah and I played Dune Imperium with them. And Dallas told Father Greg that it was weird that it was my favorite game because I suck at it.
That's true.
And so that hurt my feelings a little bit. But no, this is a great deck building game where you're placing workers on the board and having to match icons with the agent spaces that you're placing agents to, and you are really working against the game to eke out just enough resources to get troops into the battle and get those sweet, sweet victory points. Race to 10. Dallas obliterated us. It was glorious.
I played another game in which I got obliterated in, and that was Woodcraft. This is the new game by Vladimir Suchi. It's very, very tight. It's very restrictive. It's hard to get wood and money that you need to buy wood, and then you need to take that wood and make a bookcase out of it. It's a simple theme, but the way that it works is like, the nice thing about it is that the actions that nobody picks become more valuable over time. So the actions that everyone wants that are really, really good, they become more sort of like expensive. But the actions that nobody wants, they even give you stuff. You can get extra bonuses if you take those actions that nobody else wants.
We were 7 people hanging out, yourself included, at a house. And we were like, what are we going to do with 7 people? Not very many games you can play with 7 people.
Right?
Party people, can you think of a game that you can play with 7 people? You got it! 7 Wonders, baby. I have realized that 7 Wonders is like the board game. If you take a Venn diagram of all the things that we like about board games, 7 Wonders hits it right in the center. It's not the best strategy game. It's not the best game for, 4 players. But it is the best strategy, Euro, family weight, both 7-player game. Like,
right.
If you need all those factors, this hits it so good and knocks it out of the park. I had a great time playing 7 Wonders, got a little carried away with trying to compete with my wife on military, and ended up nosediving into obscurity.
Yeah, 5th place isn't so bad out of 7. That's great. I played a number of times. We're halfway probably through a game of King's Dilemma. So a whole campaign where every game you're just making a whole bunch of choices. You're voting on whether you should think slavery is a good thing in your kingdom, or whether you want to give the poor bread, or whether you think witches should be burned, or whatever. You're making all kinds of decisions, but every decision that you make hurts, and every decision leads to probably the destruction of the kingdom. It's terrible, but it's a lot of fun. Great story.
I'm really glad you're enjoying this because it sounds like a blast. Next, Father Greg and I, we played Orichalcum. This is Bruno Catala's new design with Johannes Goopy. And this fits right into Bruno's catalog with Abyss and 5 Tribes and Yamatai. But this knocks it out of the park. He's returning to his glory. Basically, you got kind of a Castadia style action selection where you have an action and a tile that are matched together. And so if you want to do a particular action, you also have to take the particular tile that goes with it. You're building out an island on your board and you're racing to 5 victory points and having your island completely clear of creatures. And it is just tension-filled fun. Oh man, I really loved this game.
I played a game of Alchemist. Alchemist is a game that has 2 parts to the game. You have to learn a whole heck of a lot of deduction, and then you have to learn a whole heck of a lot of worker placement. But when you already know how to play, it works very, very nicely. As long as you don't get messed up. If somebody screws up their deduction halfway through, this game is an absolute miserable mess.
Speaking of Alchemist, I played a game called Codex Naturalis, which is all about science-y things, which goes the same way. But basically, this is just a simple pattern building game where you have a card in the middle of your tableau, and then you're going to add cards to that. The cards have kind of corner slots that you can place cards on top of. If they don't have a corner slot, you can't place it there, and you're going to get points in various ways for having patterns of the same color card, or there's symbols on cards that other cards will require you to have a certain number of a certain type of symbol to get victory points by playing those cards out in your tableau. And this is just a chill game with a crunchy puzzle at the heart, so you're not bored ever, but you're also just having a nice time. Love Codes Naturalis. Love playing it with you.
Nice. It is a great game. Very beautiful. If Subdivision was a nice, easy, breezy solo game, Edge of Darkness solo is not that. Edge of Darkness is a beast of a game. It takes roughly half an hour at least to set up, and even the solo game is going to take you a good hour and a half to play. It's a beast of a game. I love the theme. I love what it does. It's a little bit clunky. There's a few little things that just don't quite jive, but I still look at it with endearing thoughts in my heart.
Now that I know that you have this game, I kind of want you to bring it over, because I've always wanted to try it, but I know that his next game, Dead Reckoning or whatever, is kind of this purified.
Right.
But I'd still like to give this one a try.
Cool.
All right, party people, there we have it. Those are all the games that we played in January. You didn't think we could be quick, could you? Ha! So, right before we go...
It took us 2 tries.
So right before we go, we're going to tell you what our favorite board games of January were. So, Father Greg, what was your favorite board game you played in January?
You go first.
Okay, the best of the month for January for me is Mechs vs. Minions. Mechs vs. Minions is everything that I hoped it would be when I first heard about this game. I love programming games, and this does programming the best I've ever seen, where you can just super refine your movement, and is so satisfying just knocking literally hundreds of minions off the board in one move. So good.
Yeah, I think for me it would probably be the King's Dilemma. I think this game caused some really, there were moments when one of the 3 players around the table hated this game. There have been moments where every single one of us in one particular instance of this game has felt absolutely miserable. But on the whole, it's a really enjoyable experience. So,
well, a game that can do that with your emotions is pretty special.
Right.
Okay, party people, what did you play this month? Let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. We love hearing about all the games that you played in a month. And let us know what you liked about this quick style version of our Best of the Month video. It was based on necessity because I just don't have the patience to record a whole video again. But I had fun doing this blitz.
It did.
And maybe you did too. So if you like this, we could maybe make an effort to make our videos a little more punchy if you enjoyed it this way. Let us know in the comments down below. And until next time, party people,
have the best day.
Hot.